My name is Rochelle Durkin and I'm singing the role of Donna Anna.
I am Sarah Larson and I'm singing the role of Donna Elvira.
I'm Melissa Bonetti and I'm singing Zerlina.
Well, I've sung Donna Anna quite a few times. She's a very ambiguous character, at least you can perceive her that way, because she starts off chasing Don Giovanni out of the room. So what happened behind closed doors, we don't really know. I guess she's the only one who knows. Don Giovanni knows, or maybe he thinks she allured him. Maybe he thinks she wanted something more. We'll never know. So it's quite a difficult character to portray. But Don Giovanni, to me, I know in the libretto at least that she's very steadfast in bringing him to justice. So for the reasons of her father dying and her seeing him laying down in blood everywhere, I'm sure she wants vengeance for her father's death. But in that, there's that backstory of what did happen behind closed doors. So Don Giovanni, for me, it's hard because I have to leave it to the audience to imagine what's going on and what she thinks about Don Giovanni. But for the moment, she hates him and despises him because she wants vengeance for her father's blood.
We first meet Donna Elvira because she is traveling to find Giovanni. He has left her after a brief affair. He's told her that he's going to make her his wife. And so she thinks this is a forever thing, and he just ups and leaves. So we meet her, and she has been searching for him everywhere, and she is angry. And not only does she want to make him pay for the hurt that he has caused her, but part of her also still really loves him. So she goes through a complex blend of emotions that I think we can all relate to, which is, really wanting someone to pay for the hurt that they've caused us, and also really feeling inside that you still care for that person. So she's having a real bad day.
So my character of Zerlina is the only one, as you notice, doesn't have a donna before it. So I'm just Zerlina, and I'm the peasant character, the female peasant character in the show. So my relationship with Don Giovanni is very different in that we are of different status. And when we first see Zerlina and Don Giovanni's first interaction on the show, that is actually another difference between the other two ladies. It is our first interaction, and he kind of intrudes on a pre-wedding party, and my character is immediately, as well as with the other peasants, very excited to see somebody of such high status, this very fancy person who's talking to us. And throughout any interaction that I have with him, there's always this allurement that comes with his persona, but also his status. And she is obviously very excited by that. So it's a bit of a different character. Yeah.
I think the wonderful thing about these women is that I think most people in general, not just women, but most people can relate to everything that they're going through and in relation to certain parts of their lives. We've all had that intense hurt, and we've all had that conflict of wanting to let someone go and not really being able to, and we've all had that first love experience. That I feel like opera sometimes gets a bad name of being really grand and not relatable, but these are all real people that a piece of us are all in.
Well, actually, if I may, I think Zerlina, you see more of her with Mazzetto, who she's supposed to marry, and in that relationship, you just see them arguing all the time. They're always at odds. Mostly because Don Giovanni is trying to lure my character, but there's definitely a lot that's relatable with arguing with your loved one and always trying to find peace at the end if that's your person. And but when you are with somebody that you are very close with, your true personality comes out and you can be very feisty with that person. So there's a big difference between my feisty Zerlina side when it comes to Mazzetto, and then the relationship I have with Don Giovanni, which is a lot more reserved and more careful.
And I think with Donna Anna too, she probably, she grew up with Don Giovanni. She held him to very, very high esteem. So she has a lot of questions too, and we all run in at the very end in the finale, and it's just, he's gone. So it's of no wonder as well too that she turns around to Ottavio and she says, give me a moment, please stop asking me, will I marry you? Give me a year. And quite often the audience laughs, but it's quite serious. I mean, she wants vengeance, but at the same time she's really searching for answers, which I'm sure all of us have tried to search for answers in relationships that have gone wrong. So it's very relatable. And I don't think that moment in time is something to really laugh at if it's serious, and I think Donna Anna is one of the most serious characters in the opera, whereas the opera is treated as very opera buffa, comic, but I think she, steadfastly, she's quite the serious character all the way throughout. It's very difficult sometimes to play her because you don't want to be the sap, you don't want to be the bore, but there has to be some moral integrity in the show too, which Mozart's amazing and Da Ponte is amazing that the libretto lends itself this way, because you've got to have that juxtaposition between morally good people and morally bad people. Yeah, it makes it work. So. I think I do. I mean, I can imagine that Donna Anna is a church-going Christian girl, and I think that does justify the means. I mean, he sinned, so this is his punishment. But also, I think she's that's it. I think we're all like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I think with Elvira, she comes in at the end of the opera and she basically gives him a blank slate. She says, "Look, I will forgive everything as long as you do the right thing now." And he ultimately couldn't. And I think she has just had it with all of the world, all of the men, all of it. And she decides to go to a convent because she just cannot deal with this anymore.
I think that for Zerlina's character, him dying would be a little bit too serious if it was just what happens with Zerlina. So I definitely agree that it makes more sense for Donna Anna's character, especially because he kills her father. For me, it's more of a brief seduction, and I don't think that deserves the death penalty.